Right, good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time of day you're doing this lesson. Well, we've seen this before, this Glacier Sea food web. What we're learning is that everything in a food web is connected, even if it's not necessarily directly connected by energy sources like the arrow here. So even though we are looking at the moon jellies and we know the sea turtles and the zooplankton are directly connected to them because the moon jellies eat the zooplankton, the sea turtles eat the moon jellies, we know that the orca and the algae and the walleye pollock, those are all interconnected. In the warm up, if you answered kelp or sea urchin, those are not connected to this food web. That's a separate food web. It's just on the same page. So that's the trick there. If you need to go back and fix your answers from the warm up, totally fine. But one key concept, which I will present this again later on, a screenshot of this slide, so that you can add it to your notebook, or you can just pause the video and add it right now. That the main idea we're learning here is the size of a population can be affected by any population that's connected to it, even if it's not directly connected in the food web. So looking at the algae and the walleye pollock and the orca, even though those are not necessarily directly connected by an arrow to the moon jellies, they are affecting that moon jelly population. So say, take the algae, for example. Say there's an increase in the algae. Okay, well, that's directly going to provide more nutrients and more energy for the zooplankton that are eating the algae. When that population increases, the walleye pollock population will also increase because they will be getting more energy storage molecules from the zooplankton population increase, and they will have more energy to reproduce. And so their population will increase. Same with the moon jellies. They're eating the zooplankton, and if the algae increases, then there's more food for zooplankton, then there's more food for the moon jellies. There's more energy storage molecules for them to reproduce, and there'd be more births than deaths. Let's move up the chain. If there's more moon jellies, that means that the sea turtles would also have more food because they're eating the moon jellies. They would have more energy to reproduce and their population would increase. And then same thing with the orcas. If their food sources increases, then they would increase as well. Now, say that the algae population decreased. Well, that means that the zooplankton would have less food and less energy. So they wouldn't have as much energy storage molecules. They would have less energy to reproduce. There would probably be more, the death rate would be higher than the birth rate. So their population would decrease. That would affect both the moon jellies and the walleye pollock, and it would go right up the chain with the moon jellies, sea turtles, and orca just the same, except all the populations would start to decrease because there is less food. If you took anything away from the Bill Nye video at the beginning of the week, you should have learned that the producers or the photosynthesizers of the ecosystem are really the base of any food web, and that's the algae in this food web. So we've seen that. You're going to go and simulate that with your lesson today. At this point, you should have kind of copied and pasted this into a new web browser. I'll walk you through these directions. It's pretty similar to what you've done before, so it shouldn't be too different. I suggest that you split your screen and have the directions pulled up side by side. We are going to be working in, I'm going to move my head up here. We are going to be working in the 6 population mode. So go to 6 population mode. You're trying to change the clawcat population. I'm going to pause the time right here and open the food web overlay if I can. Hold on one sec. Let's see. There we go. So the food web overlay shows you that food web again. There's a picture of it in your Google form, so you can reference that as well. You're trying to change the clawcat population without changing, you should have already kind of predicted this, whether you're changing the green leaves, the wee bugs, or the furbills. You're going to just choose one. All of them might affect the clawcat population, but you are, let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking I was saying the right organism. Sorry. You're trying to change the clawcat population. That is these kind of at the top of the food chain here, the little red cats over here. It's kind of on the right-hand side. So you're trying to change them by changing just one of these types of organisms. Then you're going to run the sim. And by changing them, I mean, let's see, there should be a little Mine's not really cooperating right now. I'm sorry. This should be where you can change the types of the number of fur bills, number of wee bugs, or green leaves. Again, make a big change to see the most dramatic effect, but you're just changing one. All right. If you come back here and you didn't change the size of the claw cat population, if it was not increasing, then go back, reset the sim, and try it again with a different population, and fill that out. So go back and redo it if you didn't get the right effect, first of all, and then answer those questions. You'll redo this sim in the next, I'll just show you real quick in this video. You're going to redo this similar thing, but you're going to try and manipulate a decrease in the green leaf population by selecting one of these three. Okay, so mission 2 is very similar, but it's a little bit different. And again, if you don't get the desired effect of a decrease in the green leaves the first time, go back and do it again. But keep in mind, all organisms in the food web affect all populations that are in a food web are connected, even if they're not directly connected by an arrow. If you need help, feel free to reach out. You got this.